Okay, let's unpack this. Summer. For many of us, it conjures images of sunshine, freedom, and these really carefree moments. We often let our guard down, assume a certain level of safety, maybe embrace the warmth a bit too much. But what happens when those bright, inviting days twist into something? Well, something far more sinister. Today, we're taking a deep dive into 3 chilling true stories. They force us to confront that fragile line between summer bliss and outright terror. Our mission here is to kind of extract the unsettling lessons these experiences teach us about vulnerability, about instinct, and maybe the hidden dangers lurking just beneath the surface.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these everyday summer activities, a graduation party, a solo kayak trip, a simple camping excursion, they become these unexpected backdrops for profound vulnerability and terror. These accounts, they're not just scary stories, are they? They serve as these stark reminders. They make you question the safety we often just take for granted and maybe consider the subtle cues we might otherwise miss.
Right. Let's start with the first one. It plunges us right into the chaotic aftermath of what should have been just a celebration, a graduation party. An 18-year-old just about to start college shared this really unnerving experience from last July. Their friend Miranda was hosting a pool party at her house. Her parents were away, so, perfect spot, unrestricted.
Like classic setup.
Exactly. Miranda invited maybe 100 people from their grade, seemed manageable. But as the night went on, things just spiraled. The guest list ballooned. By the peak, upwards of 150 people. And a lot of them were just randoms, friends of friends, or even total strangers who literally just barged through the gate. Miranda was apparently getting pretty frustrated.
That loss of control is unsettling in itself.
Totally. She even tried to shut it down via group chat, but it was already, too wild. So the party finally ends abruptly around 1 a.m. Police show up, neighbor complaints, the usual, shuts everything down. After most people leave, it's just 4 close friends left. Our storyteller, Jonah, Miranda, and Mel. Oh, and another friend, Steve. He was already passed out upstairs somewhere. Too much fun, presumably.
Right.
So the 4 of them start tidying up empty cans, bottles, just cleaning up after the chaos. Around 3 a.m., they head inside to cool off. And that's when they all hear it. A distinct crack from upstairs. There's like initial nervous laughter, but that fades pretty quickly into this uncomfortable silence. They go investigate, find Steve's passed out in the guest room. And they figure it must have been him. Maybe he shifted, knocked something over.
And there's that wave of relief, right?
Yeah, instant relief lets them just dismiss the strange sound.
Yeah, and it's interesting how that relief, especially when you're exhausted after a chaotic party, can just override logical red flags. Looking back, that quiet crack, it probably didn't really fit with someone just passed out. It sounded sharp. But in the moment, finding Steve, having an explanation, even a simple one, it makes it incredibly easy to just dismiss that lingering unease. It's not just like a personal thing. It's a classic cognitive bias. Our brains want comfort. They want a quick resolution, especially after stress or lack of sleep.
Such a critical point.
Yeah.
Our brains just crave that closure.
Yeah.
So anyway, they decide to just crash there. Miranda and Mel go to Miranda's room. Jonah takes the couch, and our storyteller goes to the parents' bed. Nobody's in a state to drive. The real terror starts a little later. The storyteller's jolted awake by screams coming from Miranda's room. Way too real is how they put it. They burst out of bed, run into the dark room, and they can barely make out Miranda and Mel just huddled up, hugging each other in the corner of the room, curled up on the floor, absolutely terrified. And then, in the opposite corner, other side of the bed, there's a tall person just standing there looking at the storyteller in the doorway. The storyteller freezes for like a split second and just yells for the girls to run. All 3 bolt. Steve wakes up from the commotion too, and they all just flee the house. Miranda and Mel are screaming that the man was touching their feet.
Touching their feet. That's incredibly creepy. That violation while they slept.
Right. They call the police from a neighbor's house. Apparently they regretted later that, with 3 guys there, they didn't try to overpower him. But in the moment, pure panic. Police arrive, search the house. Nothing. No trace of the man. He must have slipped out the back. And nobody recognized him from the party.
And the storyteller's theory about that, it's chilling.
Yeah, they think it was probably an older man who knew Miranda somehow that snuck into the house during the commotion and thought Miranda would be alone after the party.
That adds such a terrifying layer. The chaos of that party, it creates this cloak of anonymity, not just for guests, but for predators. It's like studies on social engineering show how easy it is for someone who seems to belong or just gets ignored in a crowd to exploit that kind of fluid environment, waiting for things to quiet down. That assumption of safety in numbers often blinds us, blinds us to the vulnerability once the crowd thins out. Makes you wonder how often our gatherings are watched.
It's a really stark reminder. Perceived safety can just be an illusion, especially when boundaries blur like that. Okay, so from that crowded chaos, let's shift focus to the complete opposite extreme. Profound isolation. Our next story shows that vulnerability doesn't always need a crowd. And this gets really unsettling, comes from someone who loved kayaking. Specifically, this quiet, scenic creek in the summer. Privacy was key for them. They'd kayaked this creek loads of times, loved the solitude, hardly ever saw anyone else. This one weekend, weather's perfect, sunny, 70s, ideal. They get to their usual spot, this gravelly dirt parking area, and there's another car there, which was the first. Never happened before. Immediately felt off. Just a prickle of unease.
Yet little detail that breaks the pattern.
Exactly. So they start kayaking. About 20 minutes in, a man emerges from the woods, up ahead on the left bank. He stops, waves, smiles. Seems like he expects them to stop and chat. The storyteller said they instantly knew I didn't like his smile. But, trying to be polite, they stop. The man awkwardly asks where I'm from. The storyteller, feeling that weird vibe, just makes something up. Says they're from up north just visiting. Tries to politely move on.
And that's such a powerful example, isn't it? That instinctual unease, the feeling about the smile. It's a vital warning sign, especially when you're isolated. Often ignored, though. Our gut reactions process these tiny cues, micro-expressions, body language, tone that our conscious mind dismisses. Politeness gets in the way. It's the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, picking up that something's not right, some incongruence. It's not just trusting your gut. It's recognizing your subconscious is processing stuff your conscious mind might rationalize away. A potent reminder to actually honor those feelings, especially alone.
And it's so true about that politeness thing. Even when everything inside is screaming danger. It's conditioning. So not long after paddling away, they hear it, a definite snap of a stick from behind.
Yeah.
They turn, and the man is there, hiding behind a couple trees, seemingly following me. He was clearly trying not to be seen. That's when this wave of feeling disturbed and uncomfortable just washes over them. Real fear starts kicking in.
Yeah.
And the panic gets worse because they grab their phone, try to call their dad or brother. Absolutely no cell reception, nothing. Completely cut off.
That just amplifies the terror, knowing you're truly alone.
Totally. So, faced with this escalating threat, this isolation, the storyteller makes this bold, quick decision. They stop the kayak, turn around, and just threaten him. Yell out, "Stop following me or I'm calling the police." The man just stands there, behind another big tree, clear as day now, not moving. So, realizing the phone is useless for a real call, the storyteller decides to bluff, raises the phone in the air, and fakes a phone call.
Yeah.
Loudly. Pretending to talk to the police. Like, yeah, I see you there. I'm calling them now.
That's brilliant. Cognitive judo, almost.
Right. And it worked. The man starts to walk away, but deeper into the woods.
It disrupts the predator's script, reasserts control, projects confidence, even if they were terrified inside, using that universal deterrent, the police.
So the storyteller just kayaks back as fast as I possibly could, constantly looking over their shoulder, finally reaches the launch spot. Safe, they think. But the ordeal isn't over. They get to their car and makes this terrifying discovery. Broken glass near the back of my car, and the back passenger side window wasn't there anymore. It had been shattered.
No.
And the other car, the man's car, still there in the parking area.
That is profoundly chilling. It shifts from just stalking to premeditated entrapment. It wasn't just following. He set a trap.
Exactly. So the storyteller instantly recognizes the danger, doesn't go near the car, stays hidden in the woods nearby. Smart move. They move closer to the road, hoping for reception, and finally get a signal. Calls 911 successfully. When the police arrive, they find the man from the woods. Get this. Waiting in the back seat of my car, hiding, waiting for me to enter my car to grab me.
Oh my God, hiding in the back seat.
Yeah. The storyteller describes seeing him arrested, no longer smiling, as beyond satisfying, I bet.
I can only imagine. What's truly, truly chilling there is the cunning. Shattering the window is a calculated trap. He was orchestrating an ambush, hoping to grab them once they got in the damaged car. That speaks to such a level of premeditation, of malice, transforming this beautiful day into an absolute nightmare scenario. The sheer luck, or maybe just that quick thinking, to hide and call for help. that likely saved their life. And it raises that question for all of us, doesn't it? How many subtle cues do we miss? How often do we fail to act on those deep instincts that could alert us to immediate danger? A powerful lesson in acting decisively on unease.
Absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
Okay, our final story. It takes us camping. West Glacier, Montana. A group of friends, including Luke, who's a photographer, and Matt. They had this summer camping tradition. First night, totally uneventful. They had 2 tents. Our storyteller was alone in one. Luke and Matt shared the other. Second night, they put out the campfire, settle into their tents. Nobody's even asleep yet. And they start hearing sounds from out in the woods. It was very clearly a person's voice. Sounded like an older woman's voice. And it's getting louder, clearer, calling hello.
And that's got such a profound psychological effect, right? A familiar, seemingly harmless sound like hello, but in isolation at night, it becomes deeply unsettling. Daylight, maybe you're concerned, want to help, darkness out there. It just transforms into dread, twists your perception of safety. Your mind fills the gaps with the worst stuff.
And their minds were right to do that because the voice gets so close and so clear. It's like right outside the storyteller's tent. But now it had changed. The storyteller said it didn't sound like a woman anymore. It sounded like a man trying to sound like a woman, raising the pitch in his voice.
Oh, that's manipulation, pure creep factor.
Right. Then the person outside suddenly started shaking the tent aggressively, just violently shaking it. The storyteller freaked out and screamed, "What do you want?" Well, one of the friends in the other tent yells, "Go away!" And the shaking just stops. Suddenly as it began, then they hear quick footsteps hurrying away into the dark.
Just vanishes.
Yeah. The storyteller, terrified, immediately scrambles over to the friend's tent, safer together. None of them know what to think, but they all agree. It wasn't a real woman. Some creepy guy pretending maybe to get them to lower their guard, open the tent.
Smart not to.
Definitely. They decide it's way too risky to leave in the dark. Plan is, pack up at first light, take turns staying awake on watch. But despite the plan, apparently Luke fell asleep on his shift, and we were all asleep by that point. Exhaustion, terror. It just took over.
Understandable, really. Adrenaline crash.
So the next morning, they pack up, start the long drive home. Luke, the photographer, is reviewing his camera, looking at the shots in the trip. And that is when they make the horrifying discovery. The last 3 pictures on the camera, Luke didn't take them. The first 2 were pictures taken of our campsite while it was still dark out, taken from the woods, presumably. The third picture, maybe the most disturbing part of this whole thing, was taken inside of our tent with all 3 of us asleep.
Inside the tent while they were sleeping.
Inside their tent.
That violation, it's profound. The unseen presence, the physical invasion of their supposedly safe space, and those photos, like trophies, the sheer audacity, and the psychological terror knowing someone was in there watching them sleep, it's beyond disturbing. And like the storyteller said, nothing was missing or stolen, strangely enough, yet it remains the most messed up thing that has ever happened to any of us. It wasn't about theft, was it? Or immediate physical harm. It was deliberate psychological terror. A chilling assertion of dominance. A reminder of how utterly vulnerable they were without even knowing until later. That lasting impact, realizing how exposed you were, that can be more damaging psychologically than a direct attack sometimes.
So what does this all really mean for us? These stories, they definitely leave you with a lingering chill. They remind us that even, in the height of summer, the unexpected can just lurk beneath the surface. The invasion of privacy in a crowd, the chilling premeditation and isolation, the unseen eyes that infiltrate your sanctuary. These fears cling long after the sun goes down. They really compel us to reconsider the safety we take for granted, maybe sharpen our senses a bit.
Yeah, and if you connect it to the bigger picture, it raises that important question. How much are we truly aware of our surroundings? And what instincts do we truly rely on when we're faced with, with pure, unadulterated menace? Perhaps the most unsettling truth here isn't just that danger exists, but the chilling ease with which it can blend into the mundane, just waiting for our guard to drop. It challenges us, I think, to be vigilant, to trust that unsettling feeling, and to really try and understand the world around us.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this. Yeah, this unsettling deep dive. If these true tales send shivers down your spine and you maybe crave more unsettling true accounts, make sure to like this deep dive, share it with someone who loves a good scare, and definitely subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We'll be back soon with more stories to keep you right on the edge of your seat.